Hey, welcome back to the Aerospace Executive Podcast. I am really happy once again to have my good friend Matt Johnson. Matt is not only a friend, I'm a client of his. He's my podcast producer. He puts it all together. And he does a great job. And he's an entrepreneur and a business owner too. So we have lots of good conversations on just business in general. And it's always fun to have you on, Matt.
I enjoy being here. We always have fun, deep conversations. I like the leadership stuff. We also talk a little football behind the scenes, which is always fun. Draw some maybe football analogies. You never know when those will pop out. Those are a blast. But you got headhunted recently, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Twice.
Okay. When the headhunter gets headhunted.
All right. And so I assume you're leaving, closing up shop, right? Taking that brand new shiny opportunity.
No, not so much.
Oh, why not?
But hey, look, at the end of the day, you're always, someone says, hey, are you open to a conversation? Yeah. Of
course.
I'm wide open to a conversation. I'm always, look, you never know. If you don't have conversations, you don't know, right?
Right.
It's like I tell transitioning military people, you don't know what you don't know. And if you're kind of hidden down in your bunker, what's on the outside world, maybe something's out there. But I'm always very candid with folks. I go, here's what I am not going to make a move for. And if it looks like this, don't even bother calling me back.
Okay.
If it looks like, close up your shop, come over to us, bring your book, we'll pay you 50 cents. You go build double so that you can make what you make now.
Right.
And we'll make your life a whole lot easier in the process. No, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Because people lie.
True, they do. All right. And so that's only that's only one of the six things, right? You've mentioned that there's six reasons people move. That only satisfies maybe one of them.
6 reasons people move.
Yeah.
It's the end of the year. People are thinking about 2024. Businesses are thinking about, hey, their hiring needs. Mm-hmm. They want to go find some great people. There are only 6 reasons people will change jobs. People that have jobs will only change jobs for one of 6 reasons. New challenge, different location, a better ability to move up the food chain. So promotions.
Yep.
Money, people, they hate the people they work with. They want a better team, or security. That's it. Challenge, location, ability to move up the food chain, more money, people, or security.
Okay.
They're whatever. Security being, they're just not. Their company's very fold up its tent. They're not sure where the direction is going. Whatever. That's it.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if you're headhunting somebody or if you're recruiting somebody, you better understand that in one of those 6 things, you better address whatever. You better find out what the motivator is for them to make the move and be able to address it honestly and legitimately in a coherent fashion, i.e., we understand your concern, or we understand what you're looking for. Here's what we definitively have to offer you.
Right.
Yeah. Trust us that's kind of like hope. It's not a strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. So you want to share a little bit more about your experience being headhunted and what you would have done differently?
Yeah, it was kind of like I felt being like I was thrown over the fence. Freshman.
How so?
Yeah, we disappeared. You're thinking about like, hey, industry recruiters, right? I didn't even know there were headhunters who recruited headhunters. Maybe it's stupid me.
Okay.
But it was like, just have some conversations. See where this whole thing goes. I'm like, did you tell them where I was? Did you tell them about our initial conversation? Oh, go have some conversation. Just go chat. Like, all right, I'll go chat. Then you find out through the chats, it's like, nope. Yeah. None of the stuff that I brought up initially was ever addressed. And you're like, then I'm kind of, then you're kind of it's like, nah, this ain't going to work for me. Appreciate
Right.
the opportunity. Appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, it ends up
Wish you
being a
guys all
waste
the
of
best
time.
luck. But no, it ain't gonna work for me.
Okay. All right. So we know what headhunters should take away from this conversation. Now, most of the listeners are going to be on the receiving end of that headhunter's phone call. So what should they be looking out for? Because even you fell victim to it, which is you fell victim to a headhunter that basically listened to your initial concerns, completely ignored them, and threw you over the fence to somebody to just have some conversations. So is that the red flag? Are there any other red flags that candidates should be looking for?
Yeah, well, look, here's at the end of the day, what it comes down to with people, what it comes down to is this, is that one, understand, what it is, having a dialogue is great, but understanding, what's your motivator or not what's your motivator, is, a very good starting place. Hey, look, I'm open to a conversation, but I'm not just looking to change geography. I'm not looking to go from big company to big company, just a lateral move. Just a lateral move doesn't do any good for me. But the second thing is that, what I do with folks is it's not a, hey, I got a job or I have a client. It's let's talk about you. And let's talk about the motivating factors to you, what you would be seeking if you were moving forward. Yeah, I've got jobs all the time, but they may or may not be right for you. Tell me what you're thinking about. Tell me about your family. Tell me about your kids. Are you happy where you are in the community? Do you want to move? What would a phenomenal opportunity look like for you? Are there any companies that you'd specifically like to explore or go to work for? It's a holistic approach, not, got a job, you want it or not. If not, I'm out of here.
Right.
It's about building industry relationships.
Right.
And that's how, when people are approached by executive recruiters, that should be the first question in their mind is, does this person care about me and my career? Or are they just working for a client trying to fill a slot?
Right.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
And candid conversations. Hey, this one may not be for you, but let's talk about other stuff. Or no, you're not going to get this job, but that doesn't mean you failed or blew the interview or something else. It means somebody with some different skill sets who fit into that role a little bit better got that job. Let's go talk about you and move on to the next one or other opportunities.
Yeah.
It's a holistic approach. It's not a one night stand.
Okay. So that's what the candidate should be looking for out of working with someone, someone that's their advocate, their champion. Let's go into depth a little bit more on that. So what does that mean to have somebody, if you are working with a great executive recruiter, that they are your advocate or your champion to the company who's looking to pull you into that new opportunity? What else does that, how else does that manifest itself?
They're in the middle.
Okay.
They're telling the client, this is the person, Bob is married to Mary. He's got 2 kids, one about ready to graduate high school, one's a sophomore. Relocation may be tough. Here's kind of what they're looking for from a new opportunities perspective. Here's what they're looking for from a financial perspective. Here's what's good in their current life. Here's what they'd be looking for in a move. Challenge, location, ability to move up, money, people, security. This is why we're having a conversation. And then to the candidate side of the house, it's, hey, look, this is the company. I went and visited the site. I saw the CEO and we sat down for a couple hours, and this is the culture, and this is the ownership group, or this is this is what's going on. And, when you go to interview, here's a few things that you may want to ask questions about. Here are some pointed questions with regards to your career that you may want to ask them. And do not be afraid to ask the difficult questions. So it's about setting a stage for proper communication and success
Okay.
versus trying to, shove that, 10 pound, the 10 pounds of potato in the 5 pound sack, hoping it all works.
Okay. All right. And then what does on the other side of things, the client side, the companies that are looking to fill these positions with an amazing new person who can take on a big new challenge, what do they need to take away from a conversation like this? Assuming they've hired a good executive recruiter that's briefing them on those things, right? They're bringing that information. So they should be equipped. I guess that's number one. They should be equipped with that information about what that person's main motivator driver is. What else should they be doing or keeping in mind?
I think it's a very simple conversation. Put aside what you have, put aside, your little box of toys. This is what is it going to take for this person to start 3 weeks from Monday, happy, healthy, motivated, and rearing to go? What do we need to do to get that person happy, on board, happy, healthy, motivated, itching to go, and excited about us? And that's the one question a lot of companies fail to ask.
That's really good. Yeah, because I've heard you mention some things that in the last minute negotiations, companies will bring up, and it won't sink the deal. They'll still hire the candidate, but they leave a negative impression on the candidate at the moment when you want them and expect them to be the most fired up, the most excited. And it's like you almost kneecap them on their way in with just something small and unnecessary. Like it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't hold up the deal necessarily.
Right.
But it takes out the excitement, the motivation, that sense of itching and raring to go. Like it knocks that down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You ask an employee to go travel for you. One of your employees is on the road 3 days, and they're at the airport, and they get an expensive cup of Starbucks, and they put it on their expense account. True story. I saw somebody came and they were really pissed off. I'm like, what are y'all mad about? They go, they just threw my expense account back at me. And they said the Starbucks, I cannot expense the Starbucks at the airport.
Okay. And I'm guessing this is a multi 6-figure a year earner.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, you think about it. Person's been away from their family for 3 days. Holiday Inn Express where you're really not sleeping that good.
Mm-hmm.
Doing meetings, trying to make you money as a company. And you're going, hey, that $5 Starbucks at the Charlotte airport. Yeah, that's on you, buddy.
Oh man. Those are that's such a small, oddly annoying gesture that would definitely take out some of the motivation for me.
Yeah, it's the stupid things in life that kill deals.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the stupid things in life. I just came back from the car dealer.
Okay.
And sales guy's a good friend of mine. I was just getting service. But it's the end of the year, tax time. I'm looking at taxes. I'm thinking, all right, maybe I do it.
Okay.
And they want to charge me $200 to put nitrogen in the tires. It's just a dealer markup.
Okay.
I'm like, no. The tires are supposed to come with air. If you replace the air that was in the tires with nitrogen, don't come to me and say it's a $200 upcharge.
Okay.
But that's what we do. Well,
not today, you don't.
Then go do it to somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm walking away from the deal.
Yeah, small things.
It's about understanding. I think the moral of the story is if you don't understand what everybody's looking for in a deal. I mean, look, companies are looking to hire great people. When they hire people, not only are they affecting the dynamic of their company, but they're affecting the dynamic of the people. They're changing somebody's life.
Yep.
What are the big motivators? Getting married. What are the big stressors of life?
Mm-hmm.
Marriage, relocation,
kids. Yeah.
Kids, switching jobs. You just hit them up with a couple of those. And so it's up to you as a company
2
to
out
make
of the
sure.
4.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
It's up to you to, and then somewhere in there, maybe they're buying a house. So now
Right.
you just
That's
added
another
a
one.
couple stressors. So it's up to you as a company to make sure that they're coming on board happy, healthy, ready to go, motivated, and make you money. If you
It's
can't do
amazing how
that,
all that
don't
stuff is
be-
assumed. It's assumed that doesn't matter. It's assumed that they'll be the same human being, regardless of how well or smoothly or not those things go.
Right. And on the flip side of the house, it's up to whoever's working on the candidate side of the house to understand that hey, look, communicate what it's going to take from both sides to put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
If you're throwing it up in the air, hoping, praying it all hits, not only are you going to be sorely disappointed, but you're probably going to have two pissed off entities.
Yeah. All right. So you need someone who's a champion, an advocate for you.
Yeah. Find a champion.
Find a champion. I love it.
Find a champion for your career.
All right. And if Craig should happen to be that champion for you, Craig, how would
you can
someone
always
reach
call
you?
me, Matt.
How would someone obtain your contact information?
Oh, you can just call the office 910-509-7129, Craig at North Star ESG, and the website, northstaresg.com.
That's it. All right, man. I always love these conversations. That was a blast. As always, there was like 2 or 3 other threads we could have pulled on that would take us in other directions and made for a much longer podcast. We might do some follow-ups on that stuff, but appreciate it.
We'll keep it short. Thanks.
Do it.
I hope you enjoyed the latest edition of the Aerospace Executive Podcast. You can reach out to me directly, Craig at northstaresg.com, or check us out at www.northstaresg.com. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, or on YouTube. Just do a search for Aerospace Executive Podcast. Thanks again. I'm Craig Pittman.